Chrysler and the mighty Motars. We will be right back for this evening's program after this word from our sponsors.
Today's the big day. Gloria's dad is going to teach her to drive. And that's so easy in a new Plymouth, the ideal family car. These magic push buttons make driving a cinch. You just push a button and go. Today in the low price 3, only Plymouth offers you torque flight push button driving, optional for small extra cost. Proof that Plymouth is ahead for keeps. Even a whole blooming flower garden is easy to move in your new Plymouth Suburban because there's no bigger station wagon at any price. And when you're through hauling, your Plymouth Suburban is ready to go calling. It's the only station wagon in the low price 3 with this exciting observation lounge. Drive a big new Plymouth Suburban. You'll be ahead for keeps.
In 1892, Charles E. Duryea and his brother Franklin built a single-cylinder vehicle in Springfield, Massachusetts. It was the first gasoline engine-driven motor vehicle made in America. The country went car crazy. Just 4 years later, the first race was held at Narragansett Park, Rhode Island. The next quarter of a century saw the automotive industry experiencing tremendous growth. By 1923, there were 13 million cars and trucks on the road. National Geographic magazine reported the country had finally reached the limit on the number of vehicles that could be driven on the existing highways. For some reason, no one listened or cared. Consequently, there was a demand for some 3 million vehicles that year alone. In January of 1924, Walter Chrysler introduced the first car to bear his name. In less than 12 months, he sold 32,000 cars, a record in the industry. Something special was happening. Chrysler continued to grow, and by 1928 was number 3 in Detroit. With the introduction of the airflow in 1934, business cooled off a bit. Chrysler had always been innovative, but this was a tad too much for John Q. Public. The sleek styling did not work. By 1937, its last year, the airflow had softened its futuristic look to no avail. It was doomed. Styling was slow to change immediately after World War II, but Chrysler introduced a town and country two-door convertible in 1946. At $2,725, it was the most expensive Chrysler. It weighed a whopping 4,332 pounds. The wood was not just an overlay. It acted as load-bearing members in the doors, sides, and rear hatch. Manufacturing this type of vehicle was slow and tedious. To better understand the town and country, we are going to take a closer look right after this commercial break.
Fashions in vogue, and all with an accent to elegance, designed by Evan Picone. Fashionable too, and with an accent to elegance, are these gleaming 1958 automobiles. Elegance that comes from the sweeping, graceful design, and from the extensive use of Alcoa aluminum. Alcoa aluminum is the fashion metal. It imparts a gleaming beauty that won't rust, chip, pit, or peel away. More aluminum is designed into the new 1958 automobiles than has ever been used before. Textured aluminum, super hard aluminum, lustrous aluminum in beautiful, colorful, anodized finishes, developed and perfected by Alcoa. This year, the most beautiful cars in the world are proudly wearing the gleam and go of Alcoa aluminum. Aluminum gleam that provides an accent to elegance. Aluminum go that puts extra power and efficiency under the hood. See these beautiful cars at your local automobile showrooms. The Evan Picone fashions at better stores. The aluminum by Alcoa, Aluminum Company of America, the world's leading producer of aluminum.
The introduction of the Town and Country hardtop coupe in May of 1950 marked the end of wood-trimmed Chrysler cars after a 9-year run. The post-war economy could not sustain the additional cost of such a labor-intensive design, but it would prove to be an enduring piece of American automotive art. Steve Nye and Ken Layton, proud owners of this particular example, are trying hard to maintain the classic look the designers made available to the enthusiasts.
This is a 1950 Chrysler Town & Country Newport. They made approximately 701, and this is one of 65 left known to exist. The club considers it to be in A condition. It was a very late production model, serial number 7412176.
The car is in the midst of an ongoing restoration. The paint was done in the mid-70s by a previous owner and has held up well. The great attraction for the Town & Country was, of course, the wood, but it wasn't just a pretty overlay.
The wood itself is the main structure of the car. The car consists of basically a flat floor pan with two rear fender wells and a front firewall, and basically the rest of it is all wood fastened to it with big steel plates that hold the corners and edges together. The doors are all wood with just the steel panels, the color of the car, inserted from behind, and then a steel structure that holds all the window mechanism is just screwed in with wood screws around the edge of the door. The original floor pan was thought to be from a convertible with the rear window tray used for structural purposes. On this particular model, they only made the coupe on the last year, and the top and everything is fitted to the wood with nails and screws and whatever else it took.
The wood pieces were manufactured by the Pekin Wood Products Company in Arkansas and shipped to Detroit, where the bodies were mated to the chassis. Each piece in a set had matching numbers. Most exterior pieces were white ash with inner panels of Honduran mahogany plywood. The varnish finish was similar to that on marine products. The familiar straight 8 engine had been around for almost 20 years. It displaced 323 cubic inches and produced 135 horsepower and had to move some 4,600 pounds, plus passengers.
It has the fluid drive, which is a partial manual, partial automatic transmission with solenoids that kick it in and out of gear. It performs real well. It has its original 4-wheel disc brakes, which was a first for 1950 for the Chrysler, and was only carried on for a few years until it was dropped.
In the case of a Town & Country, it's not hard to understand an owner's desires and dreams.
Well, basically, we bought it as an investment and plan on hanging on to it for quite a long time. The cars are very rare, with only few of them existing, and we had looked quite a while for a certain kind of car to buy, and when this one came available, the uniqueness was just too much. It's Art Deco, it's elegant, it's sporty, it was just about anything you could want in a car. When the car was brand new, it was probably about the most expensive thing you could possibly buy, and at this point in time, it still holds true for the year of the car, and that makes it an excellent investment.
(1950) marked the beginning of an unofficial horsepower war in Detroit. To answer the challenge, Chrysler introduced a V8 engine in 1951. At 331 cubic inches and sporting hemispherical combustion chambers, it had an obvious advantage on the competition. Producing 180 horsepower, the Hemi design would keep Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, DeSoto, and Imperial cars at the head of the class for almost 20 years. New body styles in 1953 kept pace with Ford and Chevrolet. With increased performance came a stronger association with racing. The 1951 Indianapolis Pace Car was a New Yorker Deluxe convertible, sporting the new Hemi engine. In 1954, it was Dodge's turn. A Royal convertible sporting wire wheels did the honors. Some 700 of these pace cars were produced. 1954 saw Chrysler's competitors taking new directions. Chevrolet was first out of the blocks with the striking new Corvette. Dave Garraway summed it up best.
Boy, what a car.
Ford was next. For 1955, it was the exciting new Thunderbird, shown here making its debut. Chrysler had an answer for all this, and it was Virgil Exner. This designer was to offer a revolutionary automobile. It combined the powerful Hemi engine with a sleek new body design that would carry Chrysler into the 60s. 1954 had not been a good sales year, so the new forward-look cars arrived just in time. It was a tremendously successful sales year that was later attributed to two things: great styling and performance. The 300 designation translated into 300 horsepower and 345 foot-pounds of torque. Ford and Chevrolet would be playing catch-up to a new king of the mountain, the C300. It was lean and mean and could reach 130 miles per hour on the open highway. No other American car would dare challenge it. To better understand this first in the letter series of Chryslers, we spoke with the proud owner of this elegant C300, John Lazenby.
This is a 1955 Chrysler C300. The serial number on it's 1881. It was produced April the 13th, 1955. As far as I can tell, I'm probably about the fifth, maybe the sixth owner of the car. I know 3 owners back. Beyond that, it gets a little vague. When I received the car in February of 1989, it cosmetically looked pretty much as you see it now. I spent a lot of time working on the paint, and we estimate the paint job to be around 16 years old. Right now, it is the correct color. I replaced all of the springs in the cars. It was pretty sad. Replaced the exhaust, did some cleanup in the trunk area, and some cleanup in the engine compartment. Other than that, the car was pretty much as you see it.
The Tango red paint was rare, as most owners chose white or black. It came loaded with power brakes, steering, windows, and seats, along with wire wheels.
The cost of the option for the wheels alone for 5 of them was $617 way back in 1955. The condition of the wheels is really outstanding, considering that they are the original wheels unretouched, and the car has about 137,000 miles on it, and it started in the East Coast and worked its way west.
John's experience with the C300 on the highway has uncovered some surprising results.
The car, for its day, probably handled better than anything out there on the road. It's very, very stiff riding in comparison to its counterparts. Goes very well through the turns and will cruise at a relatively high rate of speed without any strain at all. The only negative thing I can probably say about the car is that the brakes on it are rather marginal, so you try and not get yourself into a situation where you're going to have to be put into a tight predicament, because you might end up on the losing end of the stick.
In 1955, you always asked C300 owners one thing: what's under the hood?
It's a 331 cubic inch Hemi engine, 345 pounds of torque at 3,200 RPM. It was the first car built in North America to produce 300 horsepower, hence the designation on it. It's backed up with a Power Flight transmission, a 2-speed transmission, and one of the unique features that a lot of people find interesting is that the shifter comes out of the dash as opposed to off the column, which was the only year they did this. My dad always drove Chrysler products, and I kind of grew up with them, and the Chrysler 300 was kind of the ultimate, I always thought, in comparison to I guess, its counterparts, the Thunderbirds and the Corvettes of the era, simply because Chrysler, I always thought, had the engineering aspects far beyond the other two major makes.
As a Chrysler enthusiast, John gave us the expected answer when asked about desirability.
Chrysler 300s, to me, as far as all the Chrysler products, are probably the optimum. This car would rate right behind what would be my all-time favorite, which is the Chrysler 56 300B.
We'll take a look at John's 300B shortly, but first,
Meet the 1957 DeSoto, barely 4 feet 7 inches from road to glamorous roof. Here in DeSoto is the exciting new shape of motion. Flight sweep styling, tail fins for highway stability. This is the breathtaking beauty of Flight Sweep 57. Low, long, luxurious. Make a date now to see and drive the 1957 DeSoto. It's the most exciting car in the world today.
in the luxury field, Chrysler enjoyed tremendous success during 1955. Karl Kiekhaefer won NASCAR and AAA championships with the C300. At the same time, Chevrolet was pushing their racing successes, but were not competing in the luxury class, while Ford's T-Bird was grabbing another segment of the market. To better understand what comprised a luxury performance car, we again visited John Lazenby for an explanation of the 1956 300B in a slightly different configuration.
What you're looking at here is a 1956 Chrysler 300B, about 4 years worth of labor at this point into this car. It's been a total restoration, and we've done everything from literally take every nut and bolt off the car. The frame's been taken down to bare metal, been gone through. The front end has been completely redone, the rear end completely redone, all the brakes. The engine and trans have been totally gone through, and we just did start the engine a couple of days ago, and everything worked just as you would dream it would work. Everything was perfect.
Introduced as a mid-year model, the 1956 300B borrowed considerably from the 55 model. It got a new tail fin treatment, and the Hemi engine was now up to 354 cubic inches and could produce ratings of 340 or 355 horsepower. Torque exceeded 400 foot-pounds. Air conditioning was now available, and a 12-volt electrical system was installed. Few cars came with a manual transmission, as the 3-speed Torque Flight automatic was favored. For John, the restoration process is barely halfway.
Well, the next step, it will go up to the body shop, where the body's been waiting for it for about 2 years, and the body, of course, will be installed on it. Then I will bring it home and continue the reassembly process, wiring looms, all of the chrome trim, the glass. Then it'll go out for upholstery. Once that's completed, hopefully within, let's say, a year to a year and a half, we will probably show the car in the local area. I probably won't drive it very much at first, but I'm sure as time goes on, the temptation will be there, so it'll be out on the road. And that's where you can really appreciate and enjoy these cars.
Here's where the smoothest ride in the world starts. It's the most exciting ride advancement in 20 years. It's the 1957 DeSoto with new torsion air suspension. Completely new riding comfort. Torsion air suspension gives you new driving safety, quick, easy handling, flat sports car cornering, level tracking. See and drive the 1957 DeSoto with torsion air suspension as standard equipment. It's the most exciting car in the world today.
1957 saw Chrysler restyle the 300 and give the public something new to dream about. The 300C was very sleek and at the same time a simple design. Prices were up to $5,000 for the coupe, and $5,400 for the smart new convertible. The owner of this car, Wayne Grafin, has allowed our camera to view something very special from an historic standpoint.
This car was built June 20th, 1957, and it is serial number 3N572958. It's one of 76 black convertibles built in the Chrysler 300 line that year. This car is a very authentic, original car. It is unrestored, having only 26,000 miles. At this time, there are no known cars with lower mileage than that. When I say original, the original paint, original top and rear window, the original spare tire is still in the car. All the factory leather is still in it.
The big news for 57 was the torsion bar front suspension, which on the 300C was 40% firmer than on standard Chrysler models. The list of options continue to grow.
It has the options of tinted glass, power steering, power brakes, dual mirrors, signal-seeking radio, and the very rare Highway Hi-Fi, which is a record player playing 16 1/3 RPM records. The engine in the car is the production 375 horsepower, 392 cubic inch motor, hemispherical heads, dual Carter carburation, with a torque flight automatic transmission. The rear axle is a standard 336:1 ratio. The top mechanism is electro-hydraulic, an electric motor driving a hydraulic pump. I have not had the top down while I have owned the car because of the fact that it's an original material top from the factory. I'm very concerned about it cracking or splitting a seam while it's being put up or put down. So this is a rare treat to watch this top go up and down.
Although the top needed a little nudge going back up, the material and stitching held up well. The car had only one previous owner who stored it from 1967 to 1988. Wayne purchased the car in 1990 and had it transported from Illinois to California. This endangered species will be in very protective custody from now on.
My only real plan is to keep it fully usable, to drive it some very careful miles to a few select shows, and to preserve its history and enjoy it for what it was, but with limited use.
Chrysler was proud of their torsion bar front suspension and showed it off in this promotional film.
On hard turns. The Plymouth takes a sharp turn at 50 miles an hour and still hangs right in there. Next, one of its competitors around the same curve at the same speed. Oops! Now the other competitive make, same speeds. Neither one has the road holding of Torsionaire. Wow, good thing no ditch there. The bump test. 100 yards of as rough a road as you'll find in a month of Sundays. The Plymouth recovers very quickly and flattens out. Let's see it again in slow motion. You can see how Torsionaire tends to level the bumps, not compound them. The wheels remain in contact with the road at all times, which means
While the competition was bobbing and weaving, Plymouth was gathering 30% of the new car market. This Fury sports the Golden Commando engine option, pumping out 305 horsepower. At $3,000, it was about half the price of a 300D that year. As the 60s approached, tail fins were on the way out, but Chrysler stylists would not let go. The 300F of 1960 was to become a very desirable automobile. The 50s had produced automobiles rich with chrome, elegance, and power. During the early 60s, the power was still there, but styling was in a transitional state. We were headed for the box design. Aerodynamics were of little concern, since there were big engines to push us along, and the price of gas was a little concern. The late 60s saw the Mopars getting lean and mean. They took on a serious look and were backed up with serious horsepower. Mopar fans had a lot of hardware to choose from in 1970. Every model was available with gobs of power. Perhaps the ultimate warrior was the Dodge Charger Daytona, followed by the Plymouth Superbird. This was serious hardware, designed for the NASCAR circuit and sold to the public. The Hemi 426 was reason enough, but the aerodynamics made it all work. It gave it a unique look, something owner Mike Minardi enjoys.
The best thing I like about the car is all the weird looks you get, and compared to today's standards, driving in this car feels like driving in a Cadillac. It just kind of surrounds you. But probably the comments you get going down the road and the freeway, and then reading people's lips. That's probably about the most thrill you get driving in this thing. Turns mid-14s in a quarter mile from a dead stop. For a big tank weighing over 4,000 pounds, that's pretty damn good. So, straight away, get up and go, get up in the freeway or something, start flying, get up 100, 125. New cars today don't even compare.
To find out what the muscle car market is like, we visited Randy Gerstenberg of the Cuda Connection in Anaheim, California. Randy is well known in the muscle car arena for his award-winning restorations.
In the last 5 or 6 years, probably since 1985, these muscle cars have been on a slow rise. In 1987 and 88 seem to have peaked out. Cars that were $4,000 or $5,000 were selling for $60,000 and $70,000, some as high as $200,000, depending on if it was convertible or what engine it was equipped with. And I believe right now that the market is very slow. The market seems to be coming down. Part of the reason is I feel is that the wealthy collectors have, basically purchased everything that they would like to have, and there's not too many more new players coming into the game, and I think the market's going to go real soft. They'll never go back down to 1980 prices, but I don't believe that they'll be selling in the next 5 years for what they have in the last 5 either.
Randy has had to make adjustments due to both the car market and the changing economy.
In the last year or so, we've noticed it quite a lot where there's not as many people going for the full restorations. So what we have done here is we've opened up the doors in specializing just in paint only for all makes and models. And we believe that this, will carry us through this time, and we'll have a larger spectrum of people to deal with, and people with a different budget than the collector who just maybe needs just a paint job, or who wishes to take the car apart and put it together themselves.
And what do you buy next?
Suggest probably the E-bodies, being the Cudas and the Challengers, possibly the 71 Roadrunners. They're easy to maintain, easier to get parts for than some of the more expensive Hemi cars. They don't cost quite as much to maintain. They're fun to drive, and they will hold a value for some time.
Randy's work can best be appreciated in the following pair of Hemi Cudas owned by David Fogg.
This is a 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda hardtop. It's painted rally red with a black vinyl top. In 1970, they produced a total of 652 Plymouth Hemi Cudas. This is one of them. Of the 652, 284 of them had pistol grip 4-speed transmissions, of which this is one. It's been completely restored by Cuda Connection in Anaheim, California, and it features road lamps, elastomeric bumpers both front and rear, and painted mirrors on driver's and passenger side. This car has the Hemi 426 cubic inch engine, rated conservatively at 450 horsepower, and it also has the Dana 410 rear end gears. It's an original California car. It spent most of its life in the Fresno Valley area. I believe I am the fourth owner. I purchased the car in 1988, and we did a ground-up restoration on the car, where the motor was taken out, completely rebuilt. The car exterior was stripped, interior was stripped, all new vinyl interior, all new carpeting, all new headliner, and all new paint. Restoration took approximately 1 year.
David enjoys the car immensely, but other members of the family like it for different reasons.
My daughter just loves this car. She thinks they're great investments, and she also enjoys the cars because her boyfriends love the cars, and therefore my daughter feels like it's a good attraction to get the boyfriends over at the house. The second car of my two-car collection is another Hemi Cuda. This one is a 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda hardtop. And again, it has the same 426 Hemi engine that the red car has. It is a Canadian car, and I bought it from the original owner in 1989. Therefore, it makes me the second owner of a fairly rare automobile, in that only 108 of those were produced in 1971, 108 hardtops. Well, I think there are several things that I enjoy about owning it. Number one, it's a very low production car in that only 108 were produced. Secondly, it has really unusual graphics. It has the Hemi billboard graphics on both sides. It is the only white automatic, torque flight automatic car that they produced in 1971, to my knowledge. And it has a lot of interesting options like leather interior and consoles, rally dash, rim blow steering wheels, and the like. Both cars are called Cudas, which is a shortened name for Barracuda. In 1970, the name was shortened to Cuda, and the car designers tried to make it appear to have fish-like characteristics. The 70 car has gills on the bottom base plates, and in 71 they removed the gills and put them up on the front fenders. Also, the front grille work of both cars is to be similar to the mouth of a barracuda fish.
David has good reason to hold on to a fish that is not going to spoil.
The car was just appraised for insurance company purposes, and in 1991 dollars it was appraised at $100,000. And I personally feel that this figure will increase over time due to its rarity and high demand by fairly well-off collectors in the market.
The Clean Air Act, gasoline prices, and escalating insurance costs took their toll on Chrysler in the 1970s. The 80s saw Chrysler make a great comeback. But what's to come? Some exciting new concepts are making an appearance to get the new decade rolling. But will it be enough to rekindle that old spark?